morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a look at some more of those wonderful cards from Pokémon Card 151. And yes, I know we've had a look at a bunch of cards from that set. We're going to be looking at another bunch of cards from that set. But oh yeah, this time we've got ourselves, well, we've got some secret rares. We've got ourselves some artwork rares we need to have a look at. And if I may say so, these are absolutely stunning. And let's start off with one of the greatest artworks we've seen in a long time. And some of you are going to look at this and go, come on, Wossy, you've said that before, mate. And yes, I have. But quite frankly, we keep seeing these amazing artworks, so I don't know what you want from me. Either way, look at this Poliwrath. It is absolutely amazing sitting there in the rain with the reflection. I mean, I keep telling you guys we're living in a golden age of Pokemon TCG artwork, and we are, incidentally. But sometimes, even with all of that borne in mind, I'm still blown away by quite how ridiculous some of this artwork is. Although So has done the regular artwork on the Poliwrath Evolution line, and I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, it's all pretty gosh darned amazing. Now, as always, I did do the translations myself, but I have checked with the lovely Antoine Boulet just to make sure I haven't done anything particularly silly. So if we start off with the Poliwag then, it's all kind of simple. 10 damage, flip a coin, if heads paralysis. It's not a great attack, it's not a reason to play the card or anything silly like that, but it is going to be a nice emergency attack. And given that it's a basic and you're really playing to evolve into a stage 2 line, having a nice emergency attack sounds pretty gosh darn good by me. Now, as for the Poliwhirl, the attack isn't particularly great. Single energy 20, 2 energy, 30 damage, flip a coin, if heads, this attack does 60 extra damage. 2 energy 90 is fine, but it is 2 energy on a 90 HP stage 1. You're probably not going to want to put 2 energy on a 90 HP stage 1, but look at the artwork rare. I keep saying it, I'm probably going to say it more in the future. If you have a look at this, like, this is a full-on piece of art that happens to have a Pokemon in. These artwork rares, it's like the artists are just upping the ante constantly, and I am here for it. But in terms of playability, all our hopes lie on the Poliwrath. Now, 160 HP is high, but it is a stage 2, so that's to be expected. Single energy, flip a coin, if heads, paralysis. It's nice, but it's on a stage 2. I appreciate the single energy, that's quite nice. I appreciate the fact that it can get paralysis on a coin flip, but you're only doing 60 damage, and you only get paralysis on a coin flip. It's not good enough. I don't want to sound mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is not good enough. So what about the second attack? What can we do with the second attack? Well, 100 damage, flip a coin, if heads, you do 150 more damage. Oh, yeah, no, that's awesome. Because 250 is a very key number, because you'll be getting your basic EXs, you'll be getting a bunch of stage 1 EXs, and with a choice belt, you will be getting Pokemon V-Stars. You'll be up to 280. 280, of course, is the magic number for getting Pokemon V-Stars. So yeah, this is really, really good. If you get free energy on a stage 2 and flip heads. And that's the problem with Poliwrath here. You've got to get free energy on a stage 2, and then you've got to flip heads. Really is as simple as that. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I do remember Baxcalibur will get the energy on quite nicely, but then you're talking about another stage 2. I'm giving it 3 Wossies, alright? But that could be a little bit overly enthusiastic. Damage-wise, I adore this, but stage 2 plus the energy, and then we've got to muck about with flipping a coin as well. I'm not sure it's supposed to be amazing. But that's not the only artwork rare that we've been gotten, ladies and gentlemen. No. And yeah, I know that's not the way talking works. We've also been given this Okacheke Mr. Mime. And I have been on the record many, many times as saying Okacheke is, in my humble opinion, the best artist working in the Pokemon trading card game right now. And I don't say that lightly, because there are many amazing artists working in the Pokemon trading card game right now. It's absolutely stunning. But it's Mr. Mime. And I need to say this, right? Literally, without any hint of an exaggeration, my three least favourite Pokemon are Mr. Mime, Jinx, and Hisuian Sneasler. I don't like the ones that look weirdly humanoid in some ways. And now, Okacheke, my favourite artist, has done two of them, and Hyganasuke, my second favourite artist, has done the other one. What is it with my favourite artist doing art for Pokemon that creeps me out? Why does this keep happening? It doesn't really matter, I suppose. Either way, we do have a new Mr. Mime, and I kind of like the art. I do actually really like the art. I just wish it was anybody other than Mr. Mime. What does it do? Well, it's got a really interesting ability, Copycat Barrier. If this Pokemon and your opponent's active Pokemon have the same number of energy attached, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Basically, if you can match energy with your opponent's Pokemon, you take no damage. And this could be amazing. Take something like a Mew, for instance. Now, I know by this point Mew might not be good, just an example. Because you see, Mew kind of is going to have two energy on. Because Mew is just going to be playing double turbo energy, and it's going to attack one. Well, if you attach 2 energy to Mr. Mime, Mew can't touch you. Now, of course, what Mew can do is attach a second double turbo energy to Mew, but they generally only play 4 double turbo energy. And what that means is that the second they start mucking around like this, you can actually run them out of energy pretty gosh darn quickly and pretty gosh darn nicely, and that's kind of hilarious. So this is going to be weird. Some decks are going to be able to just attach an extra energy and that will be fine and they'll get around it and that'll be lovely. Other decks, however, are going to really struggle to get around this, and you are going to be able to buy yourself turn after turn after turn of just your opponent not being able to KO you, and that's going to be kind of funny. What's the downside? Well, the attack's kind of rubbish. The attack for a single energy just lets you put 3 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way that you like. Well, that's not very much. The whole point of Mr. Mime is that you leave it in the active, so your opponent's not taking a prize, but then you're not doing very much damage, and that's a bit of a problem. Yes, a hit and run deck that kind of attacks and leaves this in the active could work, but you would need to leave the correct amount of energy on there for it to actually do its thing, and that's kind of my problem here. I don't think this is good enough, and that makes me a little bit sad. Once again, I'm giving it 3 Wassies because there's definite potential here. There is absolute potential. I'm just not sure it's actually good enough in terms of attacking, and even using it as kind of a barrier for a hit and run deck, it's a little bit awkward because you've got to have the energy on there in order to do so. But if you want an Okacheke artwork that isn't Mr. Mime, check out this Slowpoke. It's just an evolving Pokemon. It's not exactly one about which we can get particularly excited. That, ladies and gentlemen, is not the point. Look at the artwork on this Slowpoke. Tell me this is not one of the coolest artworks you've seen in a very long time. I might have to call you a liar. The attack for a single energy heals 30 damage in all special conditions. It's not a good card. It's not really supposed to be a good card. That's not really the point. What this is just a phenomenal piece of artwork that I absolutely had to show you. Look how awesome it is. But maybe you want some awesome artwork on a Pokemon with which you might occasionally attack. Well, I can help you with that as well, because we've got ourselves the Pidgeot line. And it's all done by Oswaldo Cato. And I love Oswaldo Cato artwork. And we got the whole evolution line. and that's lovely. So we've got the Pidgey here. The Pidgey is not particularly impressive. 50 HP, 2 energy 20, or single energy, search for 2 basic Pokemon, whack 'em on your bench. Again, you're evolving up into your stage 2, that's kind of your point here. This is it's a decent starter attack. It's not particularly good, that's not the point. What it is, however, is a very useful attack, sometimes just to get rolling, and that's rather lovely. Now, Pidgeot has awesome artwork, but it's also got single energy 20. I don't think we can spend very much time talking about this, because it's not a particularly good attack, I'm sorry. But we do have Pidgeot. Now, Pidgeot here, what we've got is 130 HP, which is low for a stage 2, but we do have free retreat, and free retreat is kind of nice. Now, we do have single energy 40 damage on a stage 2. It's kind of almost a little bit insulting, frankly. That is not enough damage, bearing in mind you evolved all the way up to a stage 2. That's not good enough. I'm not happy. Sorry about that. But we do have another attack instead that could be kind of interesting. What we've got is for free energy, you deal 150 damage, and you flip a coin. If tails, the attack does nothing. That's very, very bad. But if heads, then during your next turn, you prevent all damage from and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. That's very, very good. So it's another one of these situations where you're like, well, do you feel lucky, punk? Well, do ya? Because actually, sometimes this is going to be amazing, and you are going to absolutely just sit there and have a wonderful, wonderful time while your opponent really can't do very much. And other times, you are going to be in a lot of trouble because you're not going to be able to really get around this. You're going to flip tails, and you're going to have nothing to do, and that's going to be rubbish. So you've been warned, frankly, ladies and gentlemen. You've been warned. Sometimes this is going to be amazing, and it is going to work, and it's going to be beautiful. And sometimes you're going to flip tails. The 150 I don't like. It's not actually enough damage for me, and it is free energy on a stage 2, but it is at least colourless energy, and if you can flip heads, 150 damage plus immunity is great, but it's on a stage 2. I hate to repeat myself, but I got to give this free Wassies again. I don't think this is a terrible attack, but you've got to flip heads, and you've got to get a stage 2 out, and that is a bit rich for my blood. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about these cards and all the other cards in Pokemon Card 151. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about a whole bunch of things like Pokemon. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, all kinds of fun things, and get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely It's a Coaster, who is one of the more active members over on our Discord and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and for the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.